It's time for another one. Welcome back, everybody, to Dungeons and Day Jobs, where we make D&D sheets about people on the internet, politics, and in culture. And boy, today's is kind of all over the place. You'll see what I mean. Now, before we begin, just so that everybody understands, Wizards gets really upsetty if people make sheets out of things for disparaging things that they don't like or just things they don't agree with. So we will be using a different way of doing stats. So for all of the base things, that's your strength, that's your agility, constitution, things like that, we are going to be going from a -1 to a 10. And what that means is -1 is holy hell, how do they function?
Oh crap, I fell. I gotta keep falling. I keep falling. Oh.
To 10 is God, or Henry Cavill, whichever one I get to meet first.
And he's so hot.
And then for skills, we go from 1 to 100. 1 being absolutely god-awful, 100 once again being Henry Cavill. I mean, God. Now that everybody understands that, today's sheet is on a very special human. Jack Mandaville.
Every YouTuber's tale, we chart their course with strengths and fails, prove their strength, wisdom, charisma, and more. We score their lives, unlock each door. Gather your friends, let's explore what's real, assigning the stats that their adventures reveal.
Once again, we are going to be starting the sheet from the top, and then we will be moving our way across it. So, of course, we are going to just plop his name here because I already told you who it is. It's Jack Mandaville. Yeah, this man is awesome, by the way. Starting out with his class. Now, what class could surmise somebody this insane? It's Necromancer.
Necromancer!
There's nothing else. Mind you, not only can he raise the dead, but it also ensures that he never suffers from ED.
You have a massive erection.
Really?
His background? Well, Jack was in the Marines, so his background is in the Marines. He also does comedy, but we're going to go all the way back to his founding, which was the United States Marine Corps.
Marine Corps!
Now going on to his race. What race do we see this beautiful man as? Half-orc. I'm sorry, Jack. It's half-orc. And how do we see Jack's alignment? Well, Jack is what I would consider a good person. I actually see that he truly does try and see the good in everybody. I also think that he sees that as his outlook on life, which is a very good thing. But at the same time, he's not necessarily good. Chaotic neutrals are people that reject authority and look for individualism and kind of everything. So that kind of sums up Jack very well.
Look, I'm a teenage girl.
And as for Jack's level, to my knowledge, 41. I'm putting an asterisk on that because it's based on his Instagram. I don't know. 41. So now that we know who we are talking about here, let's move on to his stats. Now remember, these are -1 to 10. So the closer you are to 10, the better off you are. Starting with strength. Jack is a relatively strong individual. I don't see him being the kind of guy who's going to work out all the time. I also don't see him as being much stronger than the average, so we're going to give him 6.
What I want, you got, it might be hard to handle.
I think that that's pretty fair. Moving on to agility. How do we see Jack dealing with a situation where he has to run, jump, climb trees, bob and weave between cones, things of this nature?
Giorgio, now I gotta talk and I gotta concentrate. I gotta focus on being entertaining.
We don't see him doing that. So Jack, you're getting a 3. You're just not agile, my dude. It's okay. It's okay. You know, not everybody can be like a little squirrel, you know, running around on amphetamines or fentanyl. Well, actually, the squirrel would probably die in fentanyl. Anyway, let's talk about Jack's constitution. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Jack Mandaville got shot in boot camp.
And as I came back up and started scrubbing again, boom, thing went off and it tore through my arm, and I just stood there, and everyone's staring at me, and I see everyone staring at me. I'm processing what just happened, and I just start going, Sergeant! Sergeant!
He got shot before he was overseas and still did PT. Kind of. You know what? You're getting an 8. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Constitution's there. He took it. He just kept going. Now let's talk about Jack's intelligence.
I'm kind of a genius.
Now, one look at this man might make one think that is not an intelligent man. That's just how he presents. I promise you, this man is actually quite intelligent when it comes to history, when it comes to especially Texas history. He is very well versed. So I'm going to give him an 8 here as well.
I'm becoming a little more cultured, if you will.
He's actually very smart in this instance. But then we come to his wisdom. I'm going to preface this one with a clip.
Oh no! I shit myself twice. The fucking park. My sergeant, the vehicle commander, knows at this point I'm about to shit myself. I get out of the vehicle and like the entire fucking company is like in a coil. I run out to the center of this field and in front of the entire company, I'm just shitting like Lloyd from freaking like Lloyd, not Lloyd, like Harry from Dumb and Dumber. I am shitting in the middle of this open field that they're about to detonate. The entire company's laughing at me, and I'm like,
you're getting a 4 here. A 4. I just see him doing a lot of really weird, dumb stuff, but he's intelligent. So he's intelligent when it comes to the knowledge of history and stuff like that, but when it comes to the application of said intelligence being wisdom, I see him slightly falling short and just kind of goofing off because it's his personality and it's part of why we love you and him. I don't know if you're watching this, Jack, but we love you. Moving on to charisma. Jack is actually extraordinarily well spoken. He's a great speaker.
I need a man to tell me what to do.
He's fantastically fun to listen to.
Whatever skill set or career field or trade that you focus on, if that's what you want to do, as long as you're getting paid and you're happy with the wages you're getting paid, that's success to me.
He's somebody that I believe that if you talk to, you would just like right off the bat. He is a very enjoyable and funny person. I'm going to go with a 9 here. Not a perfect score, but pretty damn close. I think I gave Brandon a 9 too. I'm gonna have to check on that. Shit, maybe you get check in the comments, let me know. And now let's move on to the skills. Now remember, these are between 1 and 100, and we're gonna go down these quick because there are quite a few. Animal handling. Jack did have a dog.
Okay, so I have an English bulldog. He's perfect for my lifestyle, meaning we just hang out and sleep all day.
I don't know if he currently does have a dog, but he did have a dog. He really liked that dog. He loved that dog. He talked about that dog the same way that I would talk about that dog. So I'm gonna give him an 80 here. Politics. I don't see him being particularly political. He's not out there trying to, tell you who to vote for or anything. I think we kind of all know where his core beliefs are, but at the same time, it's not something that he, goes around espousing to the world. We're gonna go with a 50, just dead in the middle. Now going to athletics.
I have broken at least 30 legs today. Yeah.
Once again, kind of pulling from the whole strength and agility. 38. He's not the most athletic man, but he is able to walk upright, and that is what matters. Moving on to deception. Now, I don't see Jack Mandaville as somebody who's going to lie to me. I actually see him as a pretty straight shooter, though I do believe he has some capacity, and that is due to his role as an actor within a bunch of the BRCC films, a bunch of the stuff he's done with Heather Lynn.
Actually, my parole officer said that I'm legally required to tell you that I moved next door.
Thank you for letting us know.
He has the ability to convince you he's that other guy. 20. It would have been 15 if you weren't able to act. Now, how autistic is Jack Mandaville?
Why doesn't everybody realize how overrated JFK was?
Go, do it!
He was going to be the first Democratic president in like history to lose Texas. He wasn't that popular. You know why? He fucked up the Bay of Pigs. He prolonged the freaking Cold War. His poll numbers were not looking great at the time.
Pretty damn autistic. We're going with a 70 here. Congratulations. Welcome to about, I'm going to say, my neck of the woods. Though I don't know because my friends are making my sheet for me. Going on to intimidation. How intimidating do you find Jack Mandaville? I think that depends on how you approach him. The way that I see it is he does kind of give off this chaotic energy, and also he seems like the kind of person that if you ran into in the woods, you might be a little scared. You're getting an 89. But once you get to know him, he's super nice and cuddly. Now, investigation. I don't necessarily see Jack being, all that good, nor have I really seen any example of it. I'm just going to go with a 15 here. I think that he has probably the ability to do it. I just don't see it. And performance. Well, as I said before, Jack does a bunch of comedy, stand-up. He's very knowledgeable about history. Listening to his stories and the way that he explains things is very enjoyable. That in itself is a performance, as well as his acting ability, where he can play a variety of slightly psychotic characters, like these.
Like a gay vampire, or...
What a gay vampire do? Death? Crops have dried up this season because of this scoundrel's scandalous behavior. Her soul is darker than the moonless night.
You know what, Jack? You're getting 100 here. You're absolutely fantastic when it comes to performance. You are genuinely hilarious and very convincing. So everybody, we have another perfect score. Give him a round of applause. And you know what, Jack? You get a banana sticker. There you go. Enjoy the banana sticker. Moving back to the sheet, we've got persuasion. His charisma's high, his performance is high. I do believe that his persuasion would be relatively high. And the reason I say that is because high charisma, likability, I believe he can convince me that what he is saying is true, or that, who he is playing is who he is. 75. Pretty solid score. Going on to religion, I don't see Jack as necessarily religious nor not religious. I'm just going to put him at 50. I think that he probably has his faith, doesn't go on preaching. Although him being a preacher would be really funny.
I am God!
And how do we think that Jack deals with situations that require stealth? Even though he's able to dress up in various costumes, they all kind of look like him. So I don't think that that's going to get him a good score here, and I just don't see him being all that stealthful. I'm going to go with a 15 here. It's just you know what? Take your W's where you can. And of course, finishing off with survival. How good do we think that Jack is when it comes to surviving? Well, as I mentioned, he was shot in boot camp, so when he was going through, he got shot. He survived multiple tours, to my knowledge, and also I believe he goes hunting with the BRCC guys. So we're, 70 solid. He knows how to survive, even if it's by happenstance and by chance in some circumstances. He gets through it, rolls with the punches, and he knows how to. 70. Now let's move on to his personality traits. Jack is psychotic, cuddly, mildly alcoholic, hilarious, focused, nice, and he does have Tourette's. I'm gonna tell you, I actually didn't know that. It was on a blog that he was written about him. I hope that it's right. If it is, I mean, I couldn't tell. What are his ideals, however? Well, chaos and comedy, freedom of expression and individuality, and boobs are great. Solid.
Damn straight.
As for relationships, the ones that I at least know of are Matt Best, Jared, Heather Lynn, Caleb Francis, and pretty much all of San Antonio, because he's just that kind of guy. This, of course, by default assumes the unsub crew. Because, no shit.
Jack, please respond. I'm waiting.
No, wait.
And what are Jack's flaws? Well, hairline, weak stomach, and an even weaker sphincter. You shat yourself twice, buddy. You can't even get mad at that one. Nope. No. Weak butthole. It's okay, though.
Weak.
Now let's move over to his spells and attacks. What spells would Jack use in the midst of battle? Well, as I said, Jack is a necromancer, so he would be able to raise the spirits. Now, contrary to what this normally means in raising the dead, no, he can raise a quiet room from dead silence to deafening laughter almost instantly. Of course, Jack also has Shiticus Maximus, which is the ability to perpetually produce fecal matter and dispose of it in places that ought not be disposed of. Jack is also one of those kind of people that in the woods you might be a little skeeved out about at first until you got to know him. Jack has eerie presence invocation. He has the ability to scare the absolute shit out of you before you realize that he is the nicest guy on earth. And Jack also has the ability to attempt to see the good in everything. So we're going to give him rosy retrospectacles. This is the ability to look at anyone, including a homeless man, and see the good in them until they give him a reason not to.
Yeah, and I really watched this heartfelt thing happen where even though he couldn't stop his brother from being on the street, he still wanted to be. He still checks in on them. And the next day I'm walking by and I make eye contact with a homeless guy for the first time because I see the humanity in him, and he stares at me and called me the N-word.
Wait, did he?
Moving on to his physical features. Jack is 6 foot tall. He has Friar Tuck hair. He has brown eyes and a Cheshire cat smile. He's also quite fuzzy. As I said, he's like a teddy bear, just a kind of creepy one. I'm down for it, though. I'm down for it. Call me, Jack. Now, what proficiencies and languages does Jack have? Well, he's able to speak Marine.
I saw you eat a crayon.
Definitely. He's able to speak Common. He's able to speak Espers. This is the ability to speak to ghosts or specters that are not there.
I see dead people.
And Bartendium, which is the ability to speak alcohol and make alcohol. That's a proficiency and a language simultaneously. What would Jack bring to battle? What kind of items would he have as his equipment to help him deal with all of the monsters that are in the world? Well, starting off, he would have a sock puppet with boobs.
You chased off another one. Now we have to have a threesome. Oh, hey! I love making love to you, Jack.
He would also have an entire bottle of rye whiskey, shrapnel and shit-covered camis, a book on Texas history, and a fleshlight. I think that's a solid kit for you there, Jack. So there you have it, everybody. Jack, the necromancer with shitty camis. Or Jack, the necromancer that can raise the dead with laughter. Or Jack, the man who will never have ED because, once again, necromancer. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this sheet. If you did, make sure to leave a comment below with who you think we should do next. And remember, this week is July 4th, so celebrate America's birthday. I don't give a shit if you're not from here. Celebrate our goddamn birthday. You're invited, okay? We're going to be blowing stuff up in the sky. It's going to be great. I'm going to go outside and do that on my own property because America. So happy birthday. Hope everybody has a fantastic one. I'm going to go downstairs, make a bagel, and get naked or something. Have a good one.
Pull them to the darkness, shadow blackened me.